Hey, I'm back. I'm home. It has been a weird ordeal, but everything happens for a reason. I am back to bring Fitbangs back because honestly, it was beyond time to get this done. And I was challenged by a heifer who walked it back because she's a coward. Apparently, she said I can't teach her or Amber Lynn anything about fitness or weight loss, and now both of them heifers are trying to push their version of it. Amber Lynn walked a mile. I'm give her props. The other one, she thinks eating deep fried chicken nuggets and french fries and beans and then walking for less than 10 minutes is going to do anything. But, it is what it is. Now, granted, because of the hospital stay,
When did you get this little cute little outfit that I didn't have seen till just now?
I've had this tank for a bit. I just couldn't wear it before. Love you.
You gotta wear it more often.
I had, I'm going to talk about it as I do this fit bomb because I know they have for things I'm going to talk about her, but no. And I'm only probably going to do about 20 minutes to start because honestly, I got to build back up. It sucks, but I'd rather not overdo it because I don't want to be back in the hospital. But I'm going to sit with you for 20 minutes on the bike, do a little bit of weights, and really talk about what I went through, y'all. And I appreciate all the well wishes. So many of you have been so kind. Yesterday, I got to be home, plot out things for some of my future projects, and it was just good. And it taught me a big lesson on not powering through. So that's going to be what we talk about today in this Fit Bong, y'all. Give me a moment to set up, and we'll get this popping. Don't mind my big palm. Whew. As you can see, I'm still big, but I have had weight loss. The bariatric scales don't lie. I dropped at least 15 pounds in my hospital stay, but that is not the way you want to lose weight. Uh-oh. Kiddo, yeah. Can you do me a favor? Can you bring my sneakers over? I thought I left them by the bike, but I didn't because when we got in, there was snow on them. Thanks, honey.
You're welcome.
Apparently, somebody thinks, oh, reactors can't have kids in their life. They're ignored. Has mom ever ignored you, babe?
Nope.
Of course not. But heifers who don't have kids tend to think that people can't multitask. They're ridiculous. And I know I'm not technically going to address her fuck shit today, but I did think that was a funny comment. And you can't come correct. You'll never try to come at me directly unless my follower numbers get bigger, but I don't care about stuff like that. This is fun for me. I started reacting to your nonsense because you said somebody's parent passing was their karma, and then you walked that back because you want fight girl energy, but you don't fight properly. So, it is what it is. Calling you out is fun because I can get under your skin. But like I said, this fit bong is not going to be about that heifer. Nope, nope, nope. I have way too much to share about real life. And my stories are way more interesting than her pathetic nonsense. But I just wanted to put it out there, heifer. I haven't forgotten about you. I just don't need to focus so heavily. There are so many creators that have your number. And I've got a lot more to get done before I can really focus my energy back on your bullcrap. But it's coming. Trust and believe. We are going to get my bounce playlist fired up. What's digital jams? Oh, this is what I was using to write. Okay, save the playlist. Bounce. This is just music that gets me going. Whew. And I wanted that Cuff It song by Beyonce on here because, oh my gosh, this is a good song. Alright, y'all. So, 20 minutes. I almost decided 30 minutes, but I think I'm going to rebuild back up. I was at 40 minutes before the hospitalization, but it is what it is. It happens. And I got to take getting back to good seriously. I'm going to take advantage of being a bit smaller and keep my fitness up. Build it back up to where it needs to be. And thank you all for being patient with me. Whew. Yeah, I can feel the difference. Even 5-pound weights feel heavy now. I am not going to double these up. So, ooh. Uh-oh. Hit a frame. Okay. So, some of you may be wondering what happened to your old girl. Well, about 3 weeks ago, month actually, in December, my in-laws knew that I love Moe's. It's one of my favorite restaurants, and we finally got one in Bay City, and we moved upstate here, so we didn't live near there no more. So what they asked was, hey, do you want a burrito bowl? Because that is one of my favorite meals. It's one of my favorite takeout things if I can get it, because they customize it the way you want, and it's just a nice treat every once in a while. But like a fool, I thought, it's an hour up, so it shouldn't be bad. And then I was playing D&D with the guys, so I let the burrito bowl sit till I was ready for it. Not in the fridge, mind you. Just sitting on the kitchen counter and more than likely collecting all kinds of fungi. And then I ate some and I felt fine. It went down well. I didn't have any issues. And then the next day when I heated up some more, because I can't finish a whole burrito bowl. It's impossible with my new stomach. I just felt off. It was night and day different. It was just, ugh. Not to get into gross details, but the next few days was misery. I felt sick as a dog, and I was like, I'll just power through this. I've had food poisoning before, I've had salmonella poisoning before, and I had a cold on top of it. So I was just like, no, if my blood is low, because I was worried about anemia, they'll admit me. So no, we'll power through this, we'll be fine. We'll keep hydrated with water, we'll be fine. We weren't fine. Even though I finally stopped running like a literal faucet and being sick, whew, it was very rough, to say the least. And my fool behind still did not want to go to a hospital, which was mistake number one. If you are that sick, even if you don't think it's that serious, especially for more than 2 or 3 days, go to a doctor. Because my ass decided I could power through it. I'm too tough. I don't want to ask for help. I went through some things. And the first hospitalization, because it wasn't even my first hospitalization, y'all, was in December. Right after Christmas, I was listening to the Digital Underground, and it had been a night of misery. And I thought, menstruation must be coming. This pain is something I'm kind of used to. I have chronic pain issues from time to time. But it was different because I've never had like vein inflammation before. And it was just weird. It was hard to get comfortable. It was hard to sleep. That night I was up and down like crazy, and I just thought I could power through. So I'm kikiing it up in Yava's chat, but I felt so off. It was bad. And finally, it got to the point where it wasn't just pain. My breathing became labored. My thought process started to slow. It really felt like I was going into a very serious medical issue, and I got scared. For the first time in a very long time, fear gripped my entire soul. And I called for help. My partner came into the room. He took one look at me and was just like, fired up, got into action. He tried using his phone to call 911. It wouldn't dial out. He unlocked my phone, called 911, and it felt like forever. I know they got out there as quick as they could, but it was a scary time. I came out to the living room. Callie was like, "Oh, you want to play it?" It's like, "No, baby, I'm trying to keep alive." I was in my recliner just sitting there praying, breathing slow, and hoping that they got help because it was scary. The people got in, and they was like, "Can you walk?" And I tried. They had to bring the gurney into the house. They got me into the ambulance, and as they were asking me questions, I felt like I was slipping away. That was scary. We got into the ER in town next door, and when I say those people got right to work, they were not playing. They took a look at me and probably thought that it was that serious medical thing that I will not speak because I'm a very superstitious person, and I don't want to put that on me. But they realized quickly that my calcium and magnesium levels were critically low. When I say critically low, magnesium was at a 1, I believe, and calcium was a 2.3. I literally should have shut down body-wise. My heart was working at overtime to try to keep me alive. My brain was slowing my responses down so that I didn't use too much energy and not go into cardiac arrest. So when I tell people that fitness really does help train your body for such things, I don't say that to avoid the doctors, but I say that in times of critical natures, it will help you calm down, it'll help you breathe through it, and it will help you get to where you need to go. It's not 100%. So please, if you're having these kind of problems, consult the doctor, because I'm telling you, deficiency will cause you problems. And trying to power through the food poisoning set off a domino effect. Now, I've told people in many words, and I've shown the before and afters, that I was a bariatric patient. My worst weight was 512 pounds. I no longer want to get there. I am a short woman, so no matter what, any weight I put on, I wear it. It's like kettlebells right now for me. And during the pandemic, I was one of those bariatric patient statistics that gained not all my weight back, good Lord, no, but I gained a significant amount of weight back. I'm back in the 3s, and I'm not happy about it. So my partner and I started talking, and I was like, the way I got the weight off a couple of years back was Grandma bought an exercise bike. I started with that. Then I got to hoofing it outside with baby, pushing him in his carriage. And then we got a pool. And he said, okay, this is how we'll do it. We'll get you a bike. We'll go outside for walks. And we'll get in the pool because we got more than enough land, even though right now it's snow covered. And that's the plan for our future. And that's what having a partner that supports you and cares about you does for you. And I need people to understand that this isn't a slight to anybody who's partnerless. This is me showing what happiness is. Having somebody who understands where I want to go with my goals, supporting me, making sure that I do what I need to do. And if I had listened to him when he said initially, maybe we should go get you looked at, I might have avoided a lot of this. But I didn't. They let me out of the first hospital visit on New Year's Eve, which, that alone was touch and go, because it took them a long time to get my calcium levels up to a safe level. And the ER doctor wanted to keep me until after New Year's, but he could see on my face, and he was like, okay, I'll let you go home, but you got to take these calcium tablets and, report back if anything goes wrong. And I was like, okay. So I got home New Year's Eve, got to relax, and felt good for the first couple of days. My calcium levels were back where they needed to be. I was able to do light things. And then last Saturday, I started feeling woozy again. I burnt myself while cooking dinner. It was just weird. And so Sunday when I woke up, even though I was hydrating, getting my electrolytes up with some Gatorade, doing the Tums regimen, I still felt off. And Greg took one look at me and was like, "No, let's go in. I don't like this. I don't like the way you're looking. Let's get inside and just get you checked." And I had enough energy to get dressed, get to the car, which is good because to me, being able to walk was a good sign. By the time we got to the ER, I was feeling it. I was struggling just to not pass out. And since I was there admitted a few days prior, they pulled my stuff up quick. They got me in. They checked my blood, which, good Lord. And I was critically low again. And they were like, "Okay, let's get some calcium infusions in her, but you are getting admitted because this don't make sense." They knew about my bariatric surgery, so they figured it was an absorption issue, but they didn't know what the absorption issue was. So I was transported downstate to Bay City, once again to that hospital, but in a different wing because they wanted to monitor my heart. When I get to that hospital, I am just tired, but a lot of staff remembered my first visit and they were so sweet. And we get in. I get on the alleged bariatric bed that wasn't prepared. See, the bed needs to have an inflatable mattress. So, it was hilarious. I lay on this thing and it is so hard and I'm just sitting there like, I guess this is what they do for patients of my size to keep us mobile? I don't know. The bed was just insanely hard. Greg came in, we tried to use pillows to like prop my back up, but nothing was helping. So one of the nurses finally came in and he was like, "This doesn't look right." And then lab tech, who was friends with him, came in as well. And they was like, "This bed is not correct." And one of the administrators came in. It was hilarious. And they got the bed where it needed to be. They inflated the mattress and it was like night and day. It was so much more comfortable. I just hate that I put that fear look on my family's face more than once though. And I am going to do everything these doctors told me. But I spent 6 days, these last 6 days before I got home, I believe on Friday, in the hospital, getting all kinds of pokes, prodded. They drew so much blood that my veins were just like, "We're done. We're not giving anymore." I had 2 IV issues. The first time I was hospitalized, this arm swole up because I fell asleep with the IV and I didn't realize it went through the vein. So they had to compress the arm. That's how swollen it was with IV fluid. Luckily, this newer team, because they're really set to monitor heart and other patients, were in and out of my room constantly. I didn't get more than 2 hours sleep at a time because they were constantly checking labs, testing me for stuff. And so the nurse was right in when this arm started to swell up from the IV going through. And they got on it. They were able to save my arm, get a new line in, because they really wanted to help, you know. But it was really a rough and scary time. And one of the craziest things that happened was one of my neighbors was going in for a heart procedure, and her family was so sweet. She would smile and talk at you, and she just seemed like she was determined to get healthy because she had plans. And I hope that she's going to be okay, because the surgery she had was a success, and all her family was in there waiting for her. But when they did the stress test, which they did for me too, it did not go well. So I am hopeful, because they were, so many specialists were in our room that day taking care of her. And then she got put in the intensive care, and I was alone again for the last 2 days. It was a big room, so it was fine. Got to watch the snow fall from the window. But it gets lonely when you're used to having somebody next to you for 4 days of just chatting about life. Whew, and it's touch and go. I didn't have to have any surgery, but I had several specialists. I had a kidney specialist, endocrinologist they call them. I had another specialist that I'm going to follow up with, but they tested me. There was no problems with my kidney, no problems with my heart and my lungs. And I know when people initially look at people my size, even though they weighed me and they realize that, yeah, she looks bigger than she is. And I'm not saying that to toot my own horn. It really is the way my body looks. But I am definitely a lot lighter than I even thought. So they tested all that stuff. They realized I didn't have breathing problems. I didn't need oxygen. I didn't need any of this stuff. I wasn't lying about fitness. My diet, my anemia was not even an issue. My hemoglobin was in the double numbers, which for me was rare for the longest time. I even got my menstruation while I was at the hospital, which scared me because I was already getting fatigued from being low with my magnesium and calcium, and then have that happen too. So yeah, the only issues they found was vitamin D deficiency. Now, I didn't have to deal with that in the South. A, because I was outside gardening or walking kiddo to school or just being outside in general, because it was easier to walk to the corner store than to go to the supermarket all the time. And we had a nice little corner store in Durham that we would go to. And I just had more access to sunlight. In the summer, though, it was killer. I would only be outside for as long as I could because it was draining too. So I didn't really need vitamin D as much, and I had a meddlesome family member that had me on a multivitamin. But when I moved up here 5 years ago, I didn't think I needed all that stuff. I thought it was going to be kind of the same, that I would move to Durham and move up north, and it'd be like how it was in Durham, planting, being outside, and it wasn't. I hunkered down with my mom, and that was not a good time, and I became a shut-in. I mean, I got the book finished, so I take that as a blessing, but when I say I became more in my house and less wanting to deal with anything outside unless I absolutely had to, that was my life. And it sucks because I probably more than likely depleted all of my levels slowly, but because of the fitness, I was keeping up in the house as much as I could. I never stayed immobile. It's tapered off a lot of the negative effects, and more than likely I ignored a lot of the negative effects thinking it was just part of my chronic pain. And I shouldn't have did that. So vitamin D deficiency is something that a lot of people in Michigan suffer from because during the winter, even though we got a bit of sunlight today, thank you, we don't get a lot of sunlight right now. You've seen the levels of snow, or you will when I splice that in. It is a lot to deal with, and the sun doesn't always shine. My therapist got me to buy a happy light because it said it would help some of my moods. So we bought that and we use that whenever my moods are getting low. And there's just a lot of things people do because of the lack of sunlight that can go on for weeks, if not months here. But I had no idea that I should have been supplementing with a vitamin D tablet or something. And I had no idea that calcium could get so low. And I was told by a doctor once that I need to be monitored for things like osteoporosis because of my genetic makeup. And there's a good chance that I might shrink, which I fought him on. I was like, no, you're not going to put that on me. I don't want to shrink. I will stay this height at least. Because I'm already freaking short. I don't need to shrink. I don't want to become Nana Fwa from Steven Universe, even though she's adorable. I'm just like, I couldn't believe that it was something as simple as lack of vitamin D, because of my pigment too. We're a bit more resistant to sunlight, so it takes a lot of sunlight to help you with that. And I didn't realize that me being a shut-in writer would deny my body what it needs to get things done. And because of all of that, me getting food poisoning set off a real domino effect. And it really wasn't good, y'all. When I say all the nerves in my body felt on fire and then seized up, my speech pattern slurred, my heart rate was just through the roof. It was a touch and go time. And I don't think I would wish that on my worst enemy. But I will say that the ER teams and the hospital, they did the thing. Them specialists was in and out of my room, checking my blood, testing me. The stress test, I was able to do the exercise. I told them, I do fitness. I might be a fat girl, but I am taking this serious. And they believed me after they ran the test because I don't have certain issues that people my size can have. I don't really like sweets. I can bake, but I don't indulge because, man, I'm not really that food based, y'all. I know it's hard to believe when you look at the chocolate put in here, but I'm telling you, I'm not a sweets girl. I've always been a salty, sodium-based chick, and I had to really limit and change. I told them, you tell me what I need to do. What do I need to do to get better? Because when I was having anemia, I went on iron pills, even though those shits tear up my stomach. I changed up my diet to incorporate a lot more green veggies like spinach and broccoli, and it paid off. So what I was told, and I know because the bariatric doctor said 3 meals a day, but they don't want you normally to have snacks. Now, these people with their dietitian said, get some protein snacks or protein shakes, which I have those for when I don't feel like really eating. So, luckily, we prepped for this move because, as you see, getting out to shop is not a thing. So we have our boxes in here. I'm going to go through them later, get the protein bars out, put those up. We have boost shakes. So we are good. On top of the calcium that I got to take once a day, 2 times a day, a Tums regimen, and they got me some extra strength ones that are really high dose, and then vitamin D once a week. I go for labs in 5 days, and I am prepared, y'all, to get my health back. I have so much to look forward to. When I was designing those characters using that digital art program yesterday, it started to dawn on me that I have so many creative ideas that I want to get out there before anything happens to me. And I can't joke about this. I lost 3 really good friends in the space of a year. And all 3 were shocking. 2 of them was Rona related. I'm not going to shy away from saying it. One had the after effects because she survived the initial battle. The first one didn't. Rona took her out. And what kills me is she was a nurse. She spent her life helping people. And she was repaid with losing her life. And my last image of her is her on the respirator. And she was still hopeful that she was going to be all right. And then my other friend, who survived the initial sickness, was having all kinds of problems, but she, probably like me, thought she could power through. Thought, I'm used to pain. I'm used to chronic suffering. I'll just deal with this. And then she was gone. But the one that took me out, and now in our game there's a memorial to him, was a friend that I thought was going to be around forever. When I say the man was a gentle giant, he was a gentle freaking giant. And I even named one of my characters in my story after him. I accidentally. And because I always loved that name. And his death just shattered me. Because we were the same age. And I'm losing so many friends who aren't going to make it to 50 plus with me now. And I realized you gotta stop powering through. It's not like every owie is gonna make me run to the ER. I'm just not that kind of person. But serious pain, you gotta take that serious, y'all. I don't ever want to see that look on Bryce's face again. And I said it in the calling out that heifer, that playing around like that when you don't have to. I have health insurance. There's no excuse for me to not get myself checked out. And it was something as simple as a vitamin D deficiency that nearly shut my fucking system down. And thank God I indulge in fitness. Thank God I stay active, because if I hadn't, I might not be here. That's why I try so hard to push this. It's not to be in the heifers that I call out fake. I'm not trying to feel judgy, but I do judge those who, y'all are already carrying so much weight when you walk, when you move and stuff. It is weight training if you do it right. So you do little baby steps, but you keep building, you don't stop. And I have a feeling that that's going to be what happens with these two. They're showing off in January. This is like everybody's New Year's resolution when it's supposed to be a part of your daily routine. It should be a complete lifestyle change, because once you incorporate it, you don't even think about it. You just get it done, and you get so much more out of it. There is a positive effect internally. Yeah, you might not see things outside, because no matter what, I'm going to have excess skin too, which I don't intend to get cut off from me. I don't want to go for unnecessary surgeries. They scare me. So, no, I'm just going to deal with having excess skin. As you can see, I have somebody that loves me no matter what. That he wants me here, and I want to be here. So I'm going to get back down to my goal weight and just be done. And it's just crazy to me that people play around with stuff like this. But I'm telling you, Fat Girl Fitness is what saved my life. Being able to do even this, people might not think it has health benefits, but I can stand and cook in my kitchen. I can wash dishes. I can do my floors. I can play with my kids. I can be outside with the barn cat. I can do things because I push myself to stay mobile. As somebody who is very freaking nearly immobile and had a family that was like, nah, if you're going to be this stupid, at least get a life insurance policy so that we can take care of your kids. I needed that level of military bluntness in my life. They didn't sugarcoat. They fully supported me, especially after the bariatric surgery. All the sugar stuff out of the house. We had sugar-free everything. They made sure that I was okay. And like I said, Grandma got me an exercise bike. It wasn't as comfortable as this one, but it did the thing. Got me outside walking around her complex with the baby. And then when the summer came, we got a pool, and she knew. Tim loves the water. I've loved it since I was a kid. Since they literally threw us in at 3 and told us to learn to swim. Because that's how we did it in our family. That's our culture. You got to learn to swim. And I've been swimming since. And stuff like that always helped with weight loss for me. Keeping active has really kept me alive. And I think the benefits really are the reason why I'm here to talk to you guys. And I just feel so lucky that I was able to do this. And yeah, I actually I'm almost at 30 minutes, so I'm going to stop at 30. But it feels good. I don't feel too winded. And hopefully soon I'll be able to get back to the full 40. But I'm going to take my time. I don't have anything to prove. This is my daily routine. Well, technically 5 days on, 2 days off, because you got to let your body rest. But it is important to me to show everybody what you can do, even at a bigger size. This recumbent bike has been a lifesaver. And I would recommend it to anybody, along with water exercise, weight training, even if it's lightweight. I'm here because I refuse to be immobile. My body heavy in a fat trap before, a real fat trap. And I'm not going to act like I am slender or svelte, but I am getting to my goal weight slowly, steadily, and safely. And now with this new regimen, with a PCP appointment in another week, with a follow-up with the specialist, with getting labs, I am going to stay on the right path because this is important to me. I scared myself. I scared my family, all because I thought I could tough it out and I could just play through the pain. And this isn't sports, y'all. You shouldn't play through the pain. I know it isn't easy, and I know some people don't have the means, but there are a lot of free clinics, and I know they're a pain in the ass to wait in, but take this shit seriously, because you never know. It's a little thing like deficiency can shut your whole system down. Even if you're healthier, or it'll take out people no matter what their fitness level is. But I'm telling you, I truly believe that I'm here today because I keep at it with my exercise. Now, I definitely want to get my arms back. I hate it. I was starting to finally feel like I was toning them up. And 3 weeks of mess. Lost a lot of work. But 30 minutes on the bike, 12 minutes on arm weights, I'm getting back to where I need to be, slowly and steadily. And I thank y'all for being on this Fitbang with me. I am hopeful that I can keep this up and get back to where I was. And then you're going to see some outdoor stuff soon, especially once we get that pool. I am so excited about that. But yeah, I am going to go get ready for D&D with the guys. And just take it easy. And I want to thank everybody for the compliments about my hair. I got home, I washed, I blow dried it. I just needed to get the hospital stuff off me. But the bonnet keeps it from being too unruly because it's like a lion's mane right now. I'm going to more than likely straighten and clip it soon too. Get dead ends away. But that's... y'all aren't interested in that. But I just want to thank everybody who watches these. I'm going to go splice in the snow footage, or maybe I'll just do this. It's just a light snow, y'all. You can see my land is covered. It's amazing. I also definitely want to thank... everyone who sent well wishes, who checked in on us, people who have been sharing the fundraiser, which, yeah, I know. I'm normally a very prideful Gen X type chick. I'm not going to act like I'm not. But sometimes you have to swallow that pride. So I decided to try to ask for help because my partner lost a few days coming down, staying with his parents so that he could be close to me at the hospital. And I lost a shit ton of work opportunities being laid up. So, yeah, I'm not going to be prideful about this. We are good. Our mortgage is paid off for the month. But I do worry about things. I just finally started getting good. And the idea of losing everything, it's scary because of a health thing. So, yeah, I'm not saying that to make anybody feel a certain way. I don't think anything's going to come of it, but I put it out there. And I know a lot of people like to ding people and use the word grifter. I'm not me. That's not me, so I don't care. I legitimately have a hard time asking for help, and this isn't easy for me, but I'm going to do it because it's necessary. And it is what it is. If it doesn't happen, we'll power through, not like the health thing. But I do think that finally breaking down, asking for help is necessary from time to time. Either way, I am going to wrap this up, get cleaned up, because even though it's a snow day, you know, I've got things to do. But I just really wanted to show y'all some fitness. One more time. It's light snow today, so... it's like the snow globe got shook just a little bit. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I will be back soon.